video is going to be 2 makeup tutorials in one. I am doing 2 looks using one palette with, of course, the So Jaded palette. You guys have been requesting more and more tutorials using this palette, so I thought I would give you 2 more. I'm actually currently wearing probably my favorite look of all time using this palette. Well, actually I do so many looks I love, but I love this look. This is like my go-to glam look. This one, look number 1. I think it's such an elegant, classy, beautiful look that is perfect for like any occasion, prom, weddings, honestly anything. I think it is really pretty special occasion makeup that anybody can achieve. It's so simple, I know, but I still think it's absolutely stunning. I've worn it several times. And then look number 2 is a little bit more colorful, a little bit more fun. I realize I am giving you nude lips in both of these looks. I think one is just a little bit more beigey than the other one, but still both nude, and I'm sorry about that. I was actually thinking of doing a video on how to use this palette with like bold lip colors, because it's such a bold eyeshadow palette on its own. Most of the time whenever I use this, I pop on a nude lip, but I think it would be an interesting video to do like all the ways you can wear this palette with like a dark red lip, a bright red lip, a purple lip. I mean, I don't know. It's just a thought I had the other day. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Oh my gosh, okay, this intro is already too long, I'm sorry. But anyway, I really hope you enjoy both looks, and if you want to see how to get look number 1, then you just keep watching.
Hey guys, okay, ignore my voice. My freaking cold keeps coming back. But I primed my eyes with the P. Louise makeup base in the shade 02. And then of course I'm grabbing my So Jaded palette, and the first shade I'm going in with is Rose Quartz, and on a fluffy crease brush I am taking this color into my crease, and I am building this color up little by little. It's a really subtle shade, but the more you build it up, the more that pink really does show up. So I'm just taking my time, and I am focusing this color directly in my crease and a little bit on my outer corners as well, and I am dragging it in all the way to my inner corners. Now I'm going in with the shade Smoky Quartz, and this is a really pretty silvery taupe, and I'm applying this color all over my lid with my finger, and it is the most metallic buttery shade. I don't know what it is about this color, but it is out of this world. I'm going into the shade Stoned, and I'm using this color on my outer corners, and this is pretty much the look right here. It's very simple. It's something in the crease, a lid shade, and then an outer corner shade. And I'm starting off slowly with this color because it can get too pigmented and be a little bit too intense. So I don't want any harsh lines. So I'm making sure I am taking my time with this color, building it up slowly and blending it into the crease. Going back into Rose Quartz, I am just buffing everything in the crease, making sure everything is blended and there are no harsh lines, and it's nice and seamless. Okay, no wait, this is the star. This is the star of the look. I'm dipping my finger into the shade Diamond, and I am applying this color where Smoky Quartz meets Stoned. So right where the transition is, I just applied some of that diamond shade, and it looks so beautiful because this shimmer kind of has like a blue iridescent to it. So it really stands out on the eyes, especially against the cool tone Smoky Quartz. It just looks so pretty on the lids. I love it. So anyway, moving on to the face, I am taking my Farsali Glass Skin Primer and applying that to the skin, and then I am taking my Colourpop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, and I am doing 2 layers of this on my face. I usually just do 1 even layer, but since the eyes are a little bit heavier and we're going a little bit more glam today, I am trying to get a little bit more coverage out of this tinted moisturizer. So I am adding a little bit more than usual, but I love this for natural days and for glam days as well. I'm keeping it dewy for this look, so I'm going in with the Tarte Creaseless Concealer, and I'm buffing that in with my Morphe G2 brush. I believe that's the name of this brush, but I know it was discontinued a while ago. And to add even more coverage on my T-zone area, I'm adding some concealer there as well. And then of course I'm gonna set down my concealer with some powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and it is freaking amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to go and finish up the eyes. This is an eyeliner from Persona Cosmetics, and it's a really great eyeliner. It's waterproof, and I really love that it's kind of like a plum color. Well, it is. It's called Plum. So I'm applying it to my waterline, my tight line, and I'm kind of using it as an eyeliner as well. You can see like on my lid, I kind of dragged it across to create a little tiny purpley brownish eyeliner. Now I'm just basically working on my lower lash line. I'm taking a little bit of that rose quartz shade on a pencil brush, and I'm just buffing that on my lower lashes. And then I'm taking the stone shade and I'm doing the exact same thing, only I'm using a smaller, more precise brush so it's not dragged too far down. And then I'm going in with that same Persona Cosmetics Plum eyeliner and I'm just smoking it out even more. Going back into that rose quartz shade one last time and making sure everything is totally buffed and totally blended and totally smoky. Okay, so going into that same shade I used on my brow bone, Pearl, I am going to highlight my inner corners with this guy. And then I'm going to pop just a little bit of diamond on top of that. Just a little bit. Then, of course, I am curling my lashes and I'm going in with one of my favorite mascaras ever, the Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes Mascara. I'm just using my little mini one. I go back and forth. Sometimes I feel like I like the mini one more though. It's crazy. And then I am moving on to the face. By the way, this is all I do on the eyes. I don't put on any falsies or anything like that just because I think that mascara is super intense on its own. And I don't think this look necessarily needs falsies, but do whatever you want to do. For my face, I am going in with bronzer. I'm using the Benefit Hoola bronzer and I am bronzing up the skin, contouring, bronzing. And then I'm taking a little bit of my Becca Sunrise Waves bronzer. Honestly, I forgot how much I love this bronzer so freaking much, but I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. For blush, I'm going in with the Colourpop I Need Space blush. This blush is the perfect match for this eye look. I love how they look together. So jutesy, so like rosy. Such a beautiful flush. And then for highlight, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlight. One of my favorite highlights ever. It's so metallic and reflective, but it's not too pink or too golden or too champagne. It's like, I don't know, I love it. I'm highlighting my whole face with this. And then I'm just gonna set my face really quickly with my Morphe setting spray. For lips, I'm going in with the Colourpop Lippie pencil in the shade BFF. I love this shade. It's very similar to my natural lips. So I feel like that I can overdraw my lips really well and like naturally with this. Oh my God, I cannot speak today. Lord have mercy. And then on top of that lip liner, I am adding my What's Your Sign Luxe lipstick, also by Colourpop. It's a very Colourpop-y day. And I was gonna add a gloss, but I thought I was so shiny and glowy everywhere else that I decided to keep my lip a little bit more matte and natural. But anyway, this is look number 1. Now we can move on to look numero dos. So for this look, I'm already starting off with primed eyes and I'm going in with the shade Ametrine. And I am tapping off the excess glitter of this eyeshadow because it is a matte eyeshadow that has some sparkle to it, but I wanted my crease to be a matte color. So I just tapped off some of that glitter and then I went in like that and I slowly started to build this color up little by little. Once my crease is like super purpley and I've added so much of that shade, I'm going in with You're a Gem and I am buffing this color on the edges of Ametrine. And I just really love how these two shades look together. Going in with the shade Sapphire, I am adding this color to the outer corners, but I'm also adding this color on the inner corners as well. So I am doing a halo eye for the second look, and I'm leaving the center of my lid completely bare because I am going to go over it with concealer and an eyeshadow in a second. So I am just oh my God, what is happening to me? I am focusing this color on the outer corners, the inner corners, and the crease as well. Now I'm going into the shade Alexandrite, and I am just adding this color directly on top of Sapphire, pretty much everywhere I put down the blue. Okay, so now I'm taking some concealer. This is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue concealer, and I am just popping this directly on the center of my eyeball where I didn't apply any of the eyeshadow, and then I'm gonna blend it out with my finger. And it doesn't have to be totally perfect because you're about to go over it with some eyeshadow. So I'm taking the shade Fluorite, and I'm gonna go directly on top of that concealer. And the concealer is gonna make the eyeshadow pop without having to wet it. It's gonna make it like stick to your lid a lot better. Okay, so now I'm gonna start blending these shades together so that there are no harsh lines and it doesn't just look like two random spots in the center of my eyelids. So I am taking the Alexandrite shade and I'm helping that to blend out the edges, but then I thought, you know what? I want my eyes to look even more purple. So I'm taking the shade Amethyst and I'm starting to use this color to blend out the edges. I'm going back into You're a Gem, and I am just buffing this color into my crease and making sure everything is nice and blended. So even though I'm not done with my eyes yet, I decided to stop and clean up the fallout with a makeup remover wipe. But then I went back in to Fluorite, and I am just emphasizing the crease a bit just so that it looks more like structured. And then I'm going in, well, back into the Sapphire shade, and I am adding more blue to the look. Before I finish up the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the face. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer, and I am applying that on the skin to prime. I'm going to be mixing two foundations today. One that's like my absolute favorite. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh All Day Foundation. It's freaking amazing. But then I mixed in a little bit of the, what is this ridiculously priced foundation? La Mer. I mixed in some of the La Mer foundation because the L'Oreal foundation was a little bit too light for me. So I needed something that was a little bit darker. And honestly, I bought this foundation, so I have to use it. I have to use it. It was ridiculously priced, but I gotta use it. For concealer, I'm going in with the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue concealer in light medium. I have fallen in love with this concealer, even though it is like very matte and glamorous. It's so nice because it honestly doesn't need any setting. Like every time I use this concealer, I never set my under eyes. I'm also applying some of this concealer in my T-zone area, by the way. Okay, going back to the eyes before we finish the face. I'm going to take the Pearl shade and I'm going to use this to highlight my brow bone, but I'm going to take Moonstone to highlight my inner corners. I'm using the Essence Extreme Black Eyeliner to tightline and to apply to my waterline as well. And now it's time to get smoky on the lower lash line. I'm taking a super tiny brush and I'm taking the shade Sapphire and I'm applying this as close to my waterline as possible. I don't want to get too crazy with this shade, so I am being super precise. Now I'm going into You're a Gem. I am going in with a bigger, fluffier pencil brush and I'm going to buff this color directly on top of that Sapphire shade just so that they blend together really well. And I just love how those two colors look together on the lower lash line, like the gradient from the blue to the orange. I think it looks really nice. To make the lower lash line even more intense, I'm going to take some of that Alexandrite shade and I'm going to buff it right on top of Sapphire. For falsies, I'm going in with the Colourpop Faux lashes. This is in the style Mrs. or Miss. I don't remember. But in my opinion, this is the most wearable one for me. It's like the most natural looking out of all of them that they have so far. Okay, so I applied my mascara off camera. I used my Thrive Causemetics
mascara. And these are the finished eyes. I really love how they turned out. The only thing I don't love are these Colourpop falsies. This is the second one I use, and it's the most natural one. And while I love how fluttery and how wispy they look, I feel like they were kind of hard to apply, and the band on these are a little bit thick. I don't know, I'm not crazy about these new falsies from them, but that could be that I'm just an amateur when it comes to falsies. I'm not very good at applying them, so that can definitely be a me thing. I'm just like, I don't know, I'm not crazy about them. But anyway, we can go ahead and finish up this look.
Okay, eyes are done. It is face time. I'm going in with the Thrive Causemetics Rhea bronzer, and I'm actually using the Thrive Causemetics like contour brush with it. I love this bronzer. It's one of my favorites to contour with. You just look so sculpted. It's my fave. So I am just, you know, applying that to my face and my nose, apparently, just a little bit. And then I am taking the Melt Cosmetics blush in the shade California Love, and it's such a beautiful like matte peachy creamy shade, and even though it's matte, it doesn't look chalky or like matte. It's really, really pretty. It has a nice satin finish. And then for highlight, I'm going in with the most freaking intense highlight to ever exist. This is Horse and Carriage by Colourpop. It's part of their new Disney designer collection, and boy oh boy, it's very, very, very highlighting. You gotta be careful with this one. So I'm just highlighting my whole face, and then I am setting my face with the usual Morphe setting spray. And then for lips, I'm going in with the MAC Pro Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Etc. It's a very, very warm nude lip color. And I realized after I filmed both looks on 2 different days that I have nude lips for both looks. And they're kind of similar nude lips. Kind of. The lipstick I applied on top of that is the Natasha Denona Michelle lipstick. And I feel like I had every intention of putting on a lip gloss for this look, but I didn't. So that completes look number 2. I really, really like this look as well. I love nude lips. I'm sorry. Nude all day. But anyway, that's look number 2, and I really like it.
Okay guys, so that completes this video. These were 2 different looks using the Colourpop So Jaded palette, and I made sure to use completely different eyeshadows with each look. So I hope you guys enjoyed and you found this video helpful, and if you recreate any of these looks, don't forget to tag me on Twitter and on Instagram. Yeah guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.